I heard that Steve Kerr broke a clipboard at halftime. What happened? And when was the last time he did something like that?
He broke the clipboard in the second quarter in the timeout. I want to say it was the second quarter. It could have possibly been the third quarter. No, it was the second quarter. He broke it in the timeout. He started yelling at us, and Steve, he punches the clipboard. One time I saw him do it before he cut his hand off. But Steve used to break clipboards all the time on us, man. Like in those glory days and like when we was like at the peak of our powers, if you will. He used to break clipboards on us. Oh, you guys are fucking bullshit. Snap the clipboard, and he started punching. Tonight, he punched it. He punched the clipboard and shattered. And guys was like, whoa. It was funny because Steph said, well, only took him 49 games to break a clipboard. But he used to snap them clipboards all the time. But I always tell people, man, people don't realize because Steve is so mild-mannered, and he's like mild-mannered and just extreme level of patience, super chill. People don't understand how fiery Steve is. Like that's until I understand Steve fire, we used to bump heads because I didn't understand his fire and he didn't quite understand my fire. What we end up realizing is that we have the same fire and it would clash, And so once we learned that, like, no problem. Like, I don't know when the last time I got into an argument with Steve, but he has an incredible amount of fire inside, and he does a great job of channeling it. When it come out, it come out. And today, in that timeout, it came out.
Yeah, Steve tough, man. People forget. Steve had to chunk him. He went toe-to-toe and chunked him with Jordan.
Yes, he did.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, he did.
It don't get no more intense than that.
That part. You know how much shit you got to be talking as Steve Kerr to get under Michael Jordan's skin? Like that in itself, right? Like Michael Jordan, everybody trying to get under Michael Jordan. You know how much shit you got to be talking to get under his skin and end up fighting him? Like,
that's crazy.
But guess what? I guarantee you that day was the day he earned MJ respect.
Yep.
Because in true fashion, I'm sure, just like today, everybody bowed down to superstars. And for one guy to stand up to him and get to fight, like, regardless of what happened, I guarantee you that's the day he earned his respect.
For sure. That's what happens when you're in an intense moment on the team.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're like, you know what? I belong here too, homie.
Absolutely.
Like I'm on this team too. So that gusto, that gusto come from something. That gusto come from that competitive nature. And you can see that. So, shout out to Steve Kerr. 49 games in, one broke clipboard. I can live with that.
All right, maybe we need you to break more of them, Stevie Kerr.
And then I would say, like, what is your take on, like, how does that affect the locker room, right? If you watching as a player, and whether you're on the Lakers or the Warriors, and you keep hearing Jimmy Butler name, and you seeing what's happening in Miami. Shout out to Kevin Love, though. He has great commentary.
Hilarious.
Oh, my God, dude. The commentary is great. But when you see stuff like that, and you see something like Miami becoming almost like entertainment, what they're not, right? How does that affect, like, talks in the locker room about, Jimmy Butler coming here, or if people want him or not?
Every now and then you get a guy coming up to you like, yo, is this Jimmy thing real, or am I going to get traded, or X, Y, and Z. You get guys coming up every now and then, but for the most part, it don't come up a ton. Like, guys go on with their day status quo.
Yeah.
I will say earlier today, before we started film, before the game, Steve acknowledged it. Like, yo, trade deadline, a lot going on. It's tough. Like, sorry that you guys have to go through this. Like, and just kind of how unsettling it feels leading up to the trade deadline. You know, he acknowledged it. And I always applaud Steve on stuff like that. Like Steve kind of always acknowledges the elephant in the room. And he was just saying, like, you know, Steve said, I was traded 5 times in 15 years. So I know how it feels, you know, and I never want any of you guys to go through that. But the reality is we're a 500 basketball team, so you can just never be too sure. But the best way, Steve had a good line. He said, we're in a very interesting business where we ask you guys to give your all to the team. For the better of the team, give your all, and we can up and trade you tomorrow. It's like, but the reality is you put yourself in the best position by giving your all to the team.
To the team.
You know, and so it's a very
it's oxymoron.
For sure, like a kind of a peculiar spot to be in. You know, just like like, man, I need to give my all to this franchise, give my all to this team, and then I can be traded tomorrow like Luka Doncic. You know, like, but nonetheless, like I said, I applaud Steve for acknowledging the elephant in the room and then also kind of sharing his own experience because that make it real. Like, I know what this is. Like, I went through this 5 times, moving my family, like, and so I think that acknowledgement, like, goes a long way with guys, like, where you just don't come in like, all right, here's film, and you know, all 15 of us on the trading block. Like, you know, it's you know, so I applaud Steve for that. I think he handled that great today.
We had the defensive stop on Paolo. We got the W. Man.
Yes, sir. That stop.
It felt good.
It felt really good. You know, Paolo is a guy who I got a lot of respect for his game. You know, he just coming back from injury as well, and he was out a lot longer than I was. So you can tell he's still also working himself back into shape. Which I ain't too mad at him working himself back into shape tonight.
Let him take his time.
Absolutely.
Take
but Paolo is special, man. His ball skills, and when you combine that with the size that he has, and man, and I'm telling you, he when he perfect that jump shot, which I hope and think he will,
it's gonna be a
watch
wrap.
out. Watch out.
Because he really 6'10", huh?
Like a legit really 6'10", and also probably like and not only is he 6'10", but he like probably 265.
Damn.
And he's solid. Like it ain't like he's like he 265 solid. Like he huge, man. So when he perfect that jump shot, watch out NBA. Golly, he special talent, man. He get this spot, raise up on, you know, he got the, you know what he is? He's a basketball player from Seattle. He just happened to be 6'10", 265. But he's a basketball player from Seattle. He got the handle. He got the pull up. Just give me the ball and let me hoop. He's a basketball player from Seattle at 6'10", 265. Good luck. But he a problem. But it was good to match up with him tonight. I know that a few years ago I was on the shop, and when I was on the shop, Mav was like, "Whose team that on the soft Tuesday you get up, y'all play against, and you just like it's hard to get up for?" And I was like, and Mav started naming a couple of teams. He like the Magic. I'm like, yeah, like. So this team has had a thing against me since that. Which I don't mind. I respect. Jamal Mosley has done a great job with that group, and they were playing extremely well, and then they caught the injury bug, you know. And so, tough team though. Tough team. They physical. They defend. Well coached. You know what I'm saying? So. Just keep looking. I'm looking at them to take that next step. And like I said, I think they was taking it this year, and then they just got bit by the injury bug.
Totally.
But they gonna be a force to be reckoned with. We'll see how they keep it all together. You know, hasn't been a franchise that has done that in the past. You know, but I think when you got 2 young stars at 6'9" and 6'10" like they do,
Come on,
I
dude.
think you
That's
got to find a
crazy.
way to really build, and I think they're trying to do that. So it's fun to be out there against those guys.
They got talent for sure.
Mhm.
They definitely had a talent.